Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my weekly video series in which I choose my top 5 favorite cards of a particular player. At the end of last week's video, I spun the wheel of names and it landed on Pete Rose. Now, Pete Rose has a long history of playing days cards, so to try to make things at least a little bit easier for me, I went with the PSA Basic Tops Registry checklist to narrow down my top 5 favorite cards. That includes his Tops cards from his 1963 rookie card all the way to his 1987 Tops card. So 25 cards I had to choose from. Needless to say, it was no easy task narrowing those 25 cards down to just 5, and then even within those 5, trying to put them in order from my 5th favorite to my absolute favorite Pete Rose card. Now, here's where I want all of you to participate as well. In the description of this video, I will have a link to the PSA Basic Tops Set Registry checklist, all 25 cards. So I'd like you to go through those 25 cards and let me know in the comments which one of them are your top 5 favorite Pete Rose cards. And if you could order them, one being your most favorite Pete Rose card and number 5 being your 5th favorite, it'll be easier for me to compile the results and let everyone know what your top 5 Pete Rose cards are for next week. Now, before I get to my top 5 Pete Rose cards, last week's player was George Brett. So I'm going to start off by showing the results of all of your comments on what you think are your top 5 George Brett cards. Then I'm going to get into my top 5 favorite Pete Rose cards, show off some Pete Rose cards I have in my collection, and then finish it off by spinning the wheel of names again to see which player will be focused in next week's video. Okay, there were 16 of you who replied in the comments letting me know which were your top 5 George Brett cards, and here are the top 5 cards that were mentioned the most. Leading off, 14 of you mentioned his 1975 Topps rookie card. 9 of you mentioned his 1977 Topps card. 7 of you mentioned his 1979 Topps card. 6 of you mentioned his 1978 Topps card, and 6 of you also mentioned his 1994 Topps card, which is his last Topps playing days card. Now, his 1988, 89, 90, 92, and 93 Topps cards did not get any votes from any of you who replied in the comments. Now, before I get to how those top 5 vote getters rank, there were quite a few of you who, let's say, gave some honorable mention in terms of your favorite George Brett cards, those that were not on the basic Topps registry set. And that includes his 1981 Donruss card, his 84 Donruss, his 85 Donruss card, his 1987 Donruss, his 2015 Donruss, his 1988 score, and his 1990 score, and finally his 2012 Topps Archives and his 2013 Topps Archives card. So, out of the top 5 vote getters, how did you rank those 5 George Brett cards? At number 5, you had his 1977 Topps card. I had that as my 3rd favorite card. At number 4, you had his 1994 Topps card. I did not have that card in my top 5. At number 3 was his 1975 Topps rookie card. I had that at number 2 on my top 5. At number 2, you had his 1979 Topps card, which I did not have in my top 5. And at number 1, you chose his 1978 Topps card. I had that as number 4 on my top 5 list. So thank you again to all of you who replied in the comments letting me know which were your top 5 George Brett cards. I really like seeing what everyone else thinks are their favorite card of a particular player and see how that matches up with my tastes for that particular player. All right, so for Pete Rose, again, we're choosing from his PSA Basic Topps Registry set, which consists of 25 cards from 1963 to 1987. All right, at my number 5 spot, I went with his 1977 Topps card. Just like the overall look, again, generally, I'm really not a huge fan of the 1977 Topps set, but just like that, action, sort of action pose of him getting ready to field ball, that bottom National League All-Stars sort of banner there at the bottom. You got the Reds in red, Pete Rose, just, I don't know. I think it's a very attractive card of Pete Rose, so I put that at number 5 for me. At number 4, I chose his 1975 Topps card. Just love the color combination of his 1975 Topps card. You got the yellow and red, the blue there for the Reds. You have that National League All-Star outfield extra star there at the bottom right hand corner. I just love everything about this card. Sometimes Topps didn't always get the right color combination for some cards in the 75 set, but this one, I think they did an excellent job in the color choice that they made. At number 3, I went with his 1965 Topps card. Just love the Reds banner with the yellow and the red and that light blue border around the card. And check out the uniform that he's wearing there. It's sort of like that sleeveless uniform with the long sleeves in red. You got that great Cincinnati Reds cap. I don't know, just an overall great image. You have the stadium in the background. To me, it's just a great overall card of Pete Rose. At number 2, I went with his 1976 Topps card. Just that image there of Pete Rose, you can just see the intensity that he had playing the game. You got those flip sunglasses that just look really cool. But just, again, just the look that Pete Rose has in that image, you can tell why he had the nickname Charlie Hustle. And then, of course, the nice color combination there with his name there, Pete Rose on the Reds. You got the red and the yellow. And, of course, that National League All-Star star down on the bottom left-hand corner. Just a very visually appealing card, in my opinion. And at number 1, and I have a feeling this is... it may not be the number 1 card for all of you, but I would venture to say would be in most of your top 5. And my number 1 most favorite Pete Rose card, of course, is his 1964 Topps card. You just got that young Pete Rose image there. You have that Rookie Cup and it just the 64 Topps design. There's just, I don't know. I think it's hard, I think, for anyone to look at that card and not just love that 64 Topps Pete Rose card. I don't know. It just has everything going for it. So that's what I chose as my favorite Pete Rose card. And again, I venture to say that most of you would have this card in at least somewhere within your top 5. All right, over the last few years, I've actually built a decent Pete Rose collection. I'm nowhere close to being able to complete his full Topps Basic Set Registry, all 25 cards. But I don't know, I may be close to halfway there. So here are my Pete Rose cards in my collection. Starting off, we're going to just do this in order here. My 1964 Topps copy. Oh, I just absolutely love that card. Love the centering on this copy. Here is the back. It is a PSA 4 copy, but man, I love the centering on that. Next, I have his 1965. This one is in a Beckett holder. A little off center, but this was purchased many, many years ago before I was really concerned about centering. But here is the back. It is a Beckett 6. Corners are really nice on that. That's what saves it, I think. But at any rate, love that card as well. And I have his 1966. I have a little bit of a run going here. If I ever do decide to really concentrate on a Pete Rose playing days run, obviously I have his 63 rookie to contend with. That's going to be very expensive and, quite honest, not one of my favorite Pete Rose cards. But there's his 66. There's the back of that one. This one's in a PSA 4 as well. Then his 67. Here's the back of that. And this one is a, PSA 4 as well. Great centering on that. And registration. Next, skipping a few years, next one I have is his 1972. There's the back of that. And this one is a PSA 4. Doesn't look it to me. I mean, that's a great looking card there. Very happy with it. And I don't care that it's only a 4 from a 1972 Topps card. Very happy with the look of that. Next is 73. Again, love the centering on that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, yes, the back on this is fairly well centered for a 73. Really hard to get it, 50-50 on the back with some of these 73 cards. But there's the back. This one is a PSA 6. Then we have his 74. This one took me a while, if I recall, to try to find the right copy. Some of these 74s, I'm still looking, I think, for a 74 bench. Just can't find the right properly centered card. This is, it's pretty good. I think there's maybe a little bit of diamond centering to it, but overall, great looking card. Here is the back. And this is it's a PSA 7. Next, one of the ones on my top 5, his 75. That one's sharp as well. Here is the back. And this is PSA 7. Then his 76. There is the back of the 76 card. And I think this one also is a that's a PSA, PSA 6. Then his 77. Some of these 77s are hard to find well centered as well. There is the back. And this one is a 6. Yeah, I'll take this all day. I don't care if it's only a 6. That looks like a great card to me. Then we have 2 cards from his 78 from the 78 set. This is the 77 record breaker most hits switch hitter lifetime. And there is the back. And this is a PSA 8. Most of my 78s are in an 8, and here's his base card. And the back. And this one is, oh, this one's actually a PSA 9. Just a few more here. We have his 79 tops. That National League All-Star extra banner there. Here is the back. This is a PSA 8 copy. And then 2 cards from the 1980 top set. Here's the 79 highlights. P. Rose gets record 10th season of career with 200 or more hits. And there's the write-up on the back. Previous record of 9 years was held by Ty Cobb. And this is a, PSA 8 copy. And finally, now I have other cards into the 80s and stuff that are ungraded. I just didn't pull them, but the last graded card I have of Pete Rose is his base 1980 Topps card. Here is the back. And it's, a PSA 8 copy. All right, here is the wheel of names. As you can see, here are the remaining players that the wheel can choose from. So I'm going to spin the wheel here and find out which player is going to be the focus for next week's video. So let's check it out. Oh my goodness. Hank Aaron. Okay, this is going to be another one, another player who has a lot of cards to choose from. This is going to be really fun. Another great player to choose, to try to choose my top 5 favorite cards for. Now, as a reminder, again, in the comments of this video, let me know which are your top 5 Pete Rose cards. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.